Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing this early March the 26th, 7 a.m. Early morning update on an overcast but seasonably cold spring day with a temperature of 26 degrees, Jay. And we ask you to bell notification and comment down below. Comment what you want to hear me talk about to get that first mover advantage. And I did have members of Jabroni Killers last night ask me about a couple of coins, so I will talk about those coins on the noon update. Help me change the narrative to truth, education, and trust back into the crypto sphere by subscribing to the channel. We're almost to 2,000 followers and subscribers, and we're on our way to 100 members of Jabroni Killers to help us forcefully change the narrative and push truth. You can see yesterday in the Bitcoin price, we pumped up to about $88,600. Then we got a rejection back down to the 50-day moving average in the hour time frame and just above the 200-day moving average in the daily. We were thinking that the major upper resistance would be about $90,000. So we'll see if this is just another retracement like we had here, back up, and maybe this is just the third one. And now on this push, we're going to try to make that run at $90,000. We're going to continue to watch that. If we zoom out in the hour time frame, you can see where we're at there. I think we're probably going to touch the 88 to 90,000. And then I would look for a bigger rejection, as this is kind of like that dinosaur conveyor belt where you have the hump, dinosaur, conveyor belt, reversal pattern. See how that kind of looks like a turtle right there, and a conveyor belt at the end where the head would be. And those are what I coin reversal patterns as they play out. So we'll see if that's actually what's going to happen here. But I'd be looking at maybe a run up near that 88 to 90,000 today, and then look for some kind of rejection. If you look at the XLM price, it's the same thing. It's following in a similar pattern. We were thinking we could come up as high as the 50-day 2 weeks ago in the daily time frame up there at 30 cents. We're looking at this in the hour time frame, but the moving averages are in the daily time frame. We're just above the 200-day at 28.5 cents. So we'll see if we can't come up to that 30-cent level, something that we've been watching out for since about 2 weeks ago, this Thursday coming up from back here, when we thought we could have some kind of a return bounce rally after we had a pretty good fall to the downside, and we were hitting major underneath support that was down there. Of course, all these weather notifications, every time I go to make a video, that seems to be the time that the weather notifications want to come up. But that's nonetheless neither here nor there. So we're going to see if that's where we bounce off this technical level, or we did bounce off that 25 cents, 25.5 cents horizontal blue line, and we'll see now if we can't come up to that 30 cents, where I think there might be a pretty healthy rejection. But that's something that we're going to watch out for today and the rest of this week to see how this plays out. The XRP with the first mover advantage, if we go back out to the daily real quick, you can see that first mover advantage. Let you know there was this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We have the 209 as the neckline. We got the 255 in red as a major upper resistance. We're in the right shoulder of this head and shoulders reversal pattern. We have a technical target down there of $1.29, and we've been on top of this, and that's the value and the power of Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. We've been on top of this for you on both the when the news broke that the case was settled back here, and then a Sunday and a half before that when we had the manipulated news dumped on the early 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday with the Trump Bitcoin reserve, and we had a bigger pump right there, which formed the right shoulder, came up to a key level at 301, and that was the right shoulder top, I believe, being formed. And now we're just trading out and exhausting volume and exhausting the move before we break down below the neckline. But we're sitting right at the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame at $2.43. And I would look for a rejection between the $2.43 and that $2.55 overhead resistance at 255, like we just said, and that's something that we've been watching out for several days too, for a possible. Still, do not want to buy you. What we've been talking about for several days. If we scroll into some of these altcoins, we'll get into down towards the bottom. And then the coins that my Jabroni Killer members asked about yesterday, we will talk about at noon. They will be the first coins that I talk about when I have a little bit more time on my lunchtime update. I fell asleep when I got home at 9 o'clock last night from the second job, so I'm sorry I didn't make an update yesterday. I was extremely tired, but I wanted to get you this update out this morning. We can see IOTA on the hour time frame. It bounced off that 16 cents, which is the bottom part of that support resistance level that's sitting there, the box. And now we've been seeing if we could pump up a little bit, potentially as high as the 21-cent resistance level. So that's something that we're going to watch. But what I would tell you is if you break this 16 cents, your next support level is down there in yellow, which is a pretty far fall, more than about 40% down to that about 10-cent level, right? About a 40% fall. Velo is one of my favorites right now. Because Velo had a massive breakdown. Because Velo was one that was in this. See, this got changed too. Did not have a massive breakdown. This got changed into logarithmic or awful logarithmic. Yeah. See, there we go. That's what was messing the chart up. These things just seem to like to reset. I knew it didn't have a breakdown that far. But we've been in this rising wedge. What's a rising wedge is a triangle where the beginning is very wide, and then the end looks like a duck's beak as it tightens and squeezes, and it's uptrending, so it's rising, hence. But they're bullish continuation patterns, but they're bearish reversal patterns when they fill themselves and break out, and 6.5 to 7 out of 10 they break down. And when we first started talking about this, you guys know this ad nauseum, we were right there breaking to the upside and trying to break north out of this rising wedge. And I was telling you that these are technical patterns that usually, probability-wise, break to the downside, and that if we gave back that 0.03 upper resistance that was trying to flip it as support, we were going to trade back down to lower support down there at about 0.016 to change, and that's exactly what we did. And now we're trying to confirm a breakdown out of it, and that is very possible. And if it is a confirmed breakdown, your technical target is 0.002429 down there, but that doesn't mean that we have to do this right now. We could still trade back within this pattern, and we could get back up into here and maybe make another run up at major upper resistance, but that's for a different day, and that's for us to continue to follow as we're trying to not have a confirmed breakdown. And a confirmed breakdown would look like something like that, where you come back up into here and then you get rejected, and that would be a confirmed breakdown. So that's something we're watching out for. In DIA is the same thing, but in DIA we had this technical move and we hit our target from the head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern to the technical target, the bottom of that red trading zone right where the arrow is. And you can see on the wick we actually hit down exactly where we had to at the, 38 cents. And now this is an area where we thought maybe we could have a little bit of a bounce potentially up here to the 51 cents because we fulfilled the targeted move. So that's something we're going to see if we can't hold the bottom part of this red trading zone and maybe trade back up closer up there. Oops, up there a little bit more. Trade up there closer to that 50 cents, right? So that's something that we're going to watch out for, because on the next breakdown, if it loses that red trading area, you're coming down all the way to that 25 cents. LCX, we are having this bounce. We thought 2 weeks ago, after we hit this 14 cents, you can see in green, we drew it out when the price was back there at about getting rejected at the bottom part of that orange trading zone, that we could have a retracement back up potentially as high as 22 or 23 cents. We got up to the 100-day moving average in the daily time frame there at about 20 cents, and then got rejected, and now we're trying to trade back up off of that technical level. So we'll see if we can't continue to trade up after fulfilling. Still don't want to buy you, and it's been a very short amount of time since the last time you tried to harass me and force me to buy you. But you can harass all you want. I will never give in, right? Just like Arthur Spooner used to say, he would rather die than call it catch-up, right? For all my King of Clean fans out there. So that's what we're looking at with the LCX. We'll see if we can't continue to have our short-term bounce that we've been paying attention for and predicting. What are some of these other ones? We'll get MATIC, or EGLD is another one. You can see we hit a technical level down there at $18, and then we were seeing if we could have some kind of bounce, potentially up to maybe the 100-day moving average that is falling. We're going to have to change those moving averages into the current time frame on our noon time lunch break. But I just wanted to give you this little update to see where we're starting on this fresh new day. As the sun is rising, the sky is blue, the temperature is chilly, but the thing that remains consistent is truth, education, and trust back into the crypto sphere. I know Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing, giving you first mover advantage, giving you the information and confidence that you need to make an educated and informed decision as we change by ourselves the cryptocurrency landscape. And we hit our road, 10,000 subscribers, as we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and our road to 100 members of the Brony Pillars, which is the most valuable and important part of this channel that helps keep this content flowing free, as it always has been and will continue to be and will always be. Peace and love to my beautiful, lovely subscribers, to Brony Pillars, to Rockside Proud State.